Slowly moving further south, smack dab in the middle of Westeros, sits the Riverlands. Because of the three largest rivers that branch out into the east, the main system of rivers in the Riverlands is called the Trident. The red fork that splits around Riverrun and into the Westerlands, the blue fork that almost cuts all the way across to the other coast but dwindles out just before Seaguard, and the green fork that reaches up into the north at the neck. The only easy way of crossing is at the Twins, but House Frey who rule the bridge charge ludicrous tolls on travelers. But the Freys aren't the only ones who take advantage of these rivers. They're a huge blessing on the citizens. Not only do they keep the lands extremely fertile, but they provide excellent natural trade routes for barges and small ships. The lands are relatively flat and lack natural mountain defenses like a lot of the other zones in Westeros, but its mild temperatures and good economy have invited many small folk to call the Riverlands their home. The capital of the region is Riverrun, ruled by House Tully. A stronghold in the shape of a triangle, two sides are placed facing the river split at the Red Fork. The castle's greatest defense comes in the form of some ingenious engineering. The third back wall of Riverrun faces a massive dugout with levees on either side that are controlled from inside the castle. If the people of Riverrun are ever in trouble, all they need do is lift the floodgates on either side and the water will come flooding in around the back wall of the castle, isolating it from land and any subsequent attackers. Now, you might be saying to yourself, the Riverlands aren't one of the Seven Kingdoms, and you would be 100% correct. The current ruling House Tully were never kings, nor were the Riverlands ever really their own kingdom. If this is at all confusing, just sit tight and I'll explain everything that lead up to House Tully's lordship in my next video. Until then, it's spoiler time. This will cover everything up until the end of A Storm with Swords, and the end of the upcoming season, so stop the video if you don't want to go on, because I'm giving you the goods in 3, 2, 1... Okay, so remember how I said that the Riverlands were a great place to live? Yeah, not so much anymore. The fighting from Robb's rebellion against the Lannisters has turned most of the Riverlands into an absolute disaster area. Entire towns were razed, crops were burned, and small folk slain, all in the interest of one side trying to gain the upper hand against the other. Even with the war mostly over now, the Riverlands are not going to be going back to looking pretty for a while now. The Freys have taken over the capital of Riverrun, and the lordship of the Riverlands in its entirety now belongs to Peter Baelish. That's it for now, and remember, every time you hit that subscribe button, you donate a golden dragon to a Riverlands family that is probably roasting marshmallows over what used to be their house right now. I'll see you next time when we meet the Lords of Riverrun, the Tullys.